Hey there folks, how are you doing? I'm back with the Amiga today. So if you remember from the last video, I stripped it down and we cleaned it up. I repaired the cracks in the case and retrobrighted the case, retrobrighted the keys, retrobrighted the power supply, so that's looking a lot less yellow now. So all the cosmetic stuff's done, but I haven't been able to use it yet, mainly because I don't have any software for it. But I've been ordering things and a couple of things have now come in the post, so I'm going to perform a couple of minor little upgrades to it and hopefully make it usable. But before I do that, I think I want to do some preventative maintenance on it, which means a jolly good recapping, I think. So yeah, let's do that now. And why not start with the power supply, because yeah, why not? Let's get into this. I know recapping things can be a little controversial with people, and some people say you need to do it and some people say you don't, but I always think, do you know what, these things are like 30 odd years old now, and especially the capacitors in the power supply, they've probably been cooked to death as well, and that dries out the electrolytes, so it's eliminating a failure point, and they're not expensive, so I always think why take the risk, but that's me. You do you. If you think it's necessary, by all means recap your own equipment. If you don't, then don't. Totally up to you. This is mine, so I'm going to do it. Dab of flux never hurt, does it? So let's get the old solder moving with it. Looks okay. I can't see any signs of leakage, so that was probably okay, but whatever, I'm changing it. So yeah, it was easier just to do that off camera, but power supply's done, and there are only, what, 6 capacitors to change. So yeah, that can go back together. I'll just give it a quick test once it's done, and we'll move on to the Amiga itself. So that's me Amiga in bits. Again, yeah. If you want to know how to strip the computer down to this point, I did cover it in my last video, although to be perfectly honest, it's not that difficult. It's not complicated, I'm sure. I'm sure anyone would be able to figure it out if they just had a go for themselves, but I want to do some recapping, so I need to get the board out of this bottom shield, but it's held in at the back where the ports are, so I need to unscrew all of these connectors, and I can't seem to get a socket on it. They're just a bit too close to the connector to fit, so I'm going to use a pair of pliers and just see if I can loosen them that way. If I can get the camera to focus a bit better, that'll be good. But yeah, that's doing it. So they just come out like that. Cool. Alright, I'll just zip through the rest of them and we'll be able to separate this board from the bottom shield, hopefully. Right, I'm just hoping this will separate now. So if I can just get it out of its case, the bottom. There we go. Lovely. Perfect. I can get to work on that. all done, all recapped. So that's the preventative maintenance done. And I've got it back into its lower half of the case. So yeah, now I can do some of the fun stuff. So by fun stuff, I'm talking about a couple of little upgrades. So I've got an expansion for the memory, so that'll bring the system memory up to 1 meg. That is it's a brand new part as well. It's not an original part, and it was cheap, so I'm going to give it a go. And I also want to replace the floppy drive as well, so I bought this Gotek in a rather nicely printed little case. So that should sit right about there. So yeah, let's get them hooked up. This is quite a neatly made little thing actually. It is a 3D printed chassis that it's on, but it even includes a little blanking for the eject button as well, so it makes the whole package look neat when it's all together, or it should do. In fact, do you know what? Let's get this in first. So this should just go exactly where the floppy drive originally sat. About there. And I think actually I'm going to need the standoffs off the original drive. So yeah, let's get those. So the original drive has these little metal standoffs. I think I'm just going to remove those. Then I should be done with this drive, so I'll put this away somewhere safe because, well, you never know. I've not tested it, I don't know if it works or not, but you know, I see no good reason to get rid of it, so I'll put it somewhere safe. You never know, it might go back in the machine one day. So presumably I can just screw these straight into the bottom. Bearing in mind I'm screwing into plastic, so let's not go wild, shall we? Yeah, that's going in nice and crooked. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Yeah. Let's try that again. Actually, I'm just going to wind these in off camera. I want to make sure I get them straight. Yeah, that's better. So they're in nice and straight now. So presumably I can just fit it as I would an ordinary drive. So let's see about getting a couple of screws in the bottom. There we go. And it should be a case of just connecting up the leads, and that's it. Is that it? Didn't feel good. Oh, there it goes. So that's the power and the data. Pin 1 is over here. So that goes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Yeah. That data cable is absolutely not long enough. So, okay, I might need to order one of those. Do you know what? Let me see what I've got in my stash. Okay, so I've nicked this off. It's an old dead laptop. I'm assuming it's going to be a compatible cable. It looks like it's got the right number of pins. It's a little bit longer, which is what I want. I don't think there's anything weird about these cables. I think they're just straight through, aren't they? I don't think there's any crossovers on any of the connections or anything. So I think I should be okay to just replace it. But if not, I'm ordering one, I suppose. Hopefully this one will fit. I mean, the power cable, that's an only just. It's not taut, but it's yeah, there's not much room for play there. Anyway, let's try this out. Okay. That's an only just as well. but it does at least fit. Okay. Hopefully that'll be fine. I'm lucky I had that. You see, this is why I never throw anything out. Things come in handy eventually. Excellent. Now let's move on to the expansion. So I've just grounded myself, so I should be safe to handle this. I'll just handle it by the edges anyway. And I'm going to assume it goes face up, but there's nothing in the instruction manual that tells me. But then it wouldn't physically fit that way anyway, so that kind of makes sense. Let's get this on. Do I need to feed it in from underneath? Because that's not fitting. No, hang on. Hang on. Faffing around. There we go. Well, nice little easy upgrade. I'll put the case back together now and then we'll power it up. And if it still works, and I hope it does, we'll see if we can load some games off the Gotek. Yeah, so I've been tinkering a little bit off camera. What I did is I put the keyboard back on and I powered the machine up and it all started up perfectly fine. But then it prompted me for the disc on the screen and the drive light on the keyboard was staying on. So I thought, okay, well I've probably reversed the connection on the cable without realising it, swapped it round. Same issue. So I've put the original cable in, and what I've done is I've managed to twist it into such a way that it does actually fit now. And it seems to work perfectly. It's actually accessing the Gotek now. So that cable that I got off of another machine was not compatible. So what I need to do is I need to buy a longer one of these. I mean, it'll do for now, but it's a little bit like a violin string. So it's quite tight here. And I don't want the cable pulling out if the computer gets jolted or something, and it could very easily do. So yeah, I'm going to order a longer cable, but just for right here, right now, I'm going to put it back together. It all seems to be working. So yeah, I'll bring you back when the computer's been reassembled, and we'll put the Gotek through its paces. So at this point, I'd just like to point out that this is a temporary solution till I get a longer cable. So I've just bent up the shield a bit to give the cable a bit more room. And I've just secured it in place with a little bit of hot glue. Well, quite a bit of hot glue, actually. Just to stop it popping out if the machine gets a jolt or something. Again, it's just till I get a longer cable. I'm not going to leave it like this. I mean, the beauty about hot glue is you can just soften it right up with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and it'll just peel right off and it'll be like it was never there. So it's not going to cause any long-term issues, but just for the reliability side of things, I just want to secure it for now. I want to use the machine, truth be told. Anyway, let's get it back together. And it's all back together. In fact, it's been together for a couple of days now, actually. Once I got it back together, I just wanted to do some gaming and see how it performs. And you know what? It runs beautifully. So I'm currently playing R-Type, which is just awesome. But yeah, it's quite well in the case, that little Gotek. If I can just about make out the display. Yeah, it's quite a neat little thing. So yeah, it's done. The memory expansion's in and seems to be working. The games are detecting the additional memory without any problems, so it's all good. So I'm going to do a bit of gaming now, I think. Let's do this. Of course, the loading times with a Gotek are no better than a floppy disk, but it's got to be more reliable. God, I love this game so much. Yeah, love this game. Didn't say I was any good at it. Oh, I've not played it for 2 decades. What do you want from me? I love this on the Spectrum and I love it on the ST. NES version I can take or leave. It's alright. See what the Amiga version's like. Alright, what else have I got? Never been very good at this game either. I always thought the graphics on this thing were amazing. Yep, heading for a quick death again, but that's fine. I'm only trying to demonstrate the machine. Excuses, excuses. Okay, so there you go. That's the Amiga. It's done. It's been spec'd out to what would be. Hang on, just a minute. Be quiet. Yeah, it's been spec'd out to a configuration that my friends had back in the day. I never owned an Amiga myself, but yeah, the memory expansion seems to be working correctly with the games. The Gotek's working perfectly. The whole computer's working perfectly, actually. I'm really impressed with it. So looking forward to getting to know the system a little bit better. So what's good on the Amiga? Let me know. Anyway, I'll call it here, I think, because I have got a couple more things I want to do with the machine, but it's probably not worth making a video about it. So I want to replace the trapdoor because the one in it is just a mess at the moment. I want to replace the data cable for the Gotek. It's a little bit short. It's not massively tight. It's not pulled right tight, but it's more than... It's tighter than I'd like. So what's in it at the moment is just a temporary fix. I'll get a longer cable for it. And I've got an RGB cable on the way for it as well. And it should be a good little system after that. But yeah, I think I'll call the video here and just to say thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.